Welcome to Power Dynamics. We are continuing from last time. we left at chapters 8. A man's heart is not a place for violence. If your partner does something wrong, approach him with love and understanding. This will lead to better outcomes than resorting to anger and harsh words. Remember, your voice is one of your greatest weapons in a relationship. Mindfulness and maturity will also serve you well. Pay attention to your partner and prioritize him when he's home. If you are more focused on your phone than on your husband, it's a sign that you are not fully invested in the relationship. Men notice this. When your partner comes home tired, make him feel valued by giving him your attention, serve him dinner, sit by him, talk to him, and even give him a massage. This small thing, time together, is invaluable and will keep his attention on you. Women, if you want to maintain your partner's interest, be sure you're offering him the attention he deserves. Your man should be your best friend and you should prioritize him over distractions. This is a powerful way to build and maintain attraction. Lastly, if a man has committed to supporting you financially or helping you pursue your dreams, honor that. A man who supports your education or growth should be valued like a father figure. He's helping you build a future, ensuring you are not dependent on anyone else. Seduction is not just a choice, it's an obligation. It's not evil but an acknowledgement of the reality of human nature. People who understand this recognize that there are always others who might be interested in them. It's important to maintain your power and self-growth. As for me, I've learned that I have the attention of many women, but I choose to focus on my wife. I tell her that I'm aware of other women who are interested, but that doesn't mean I'm giving them any attention. Instead, I continue to grow and reinforce my value. It's essential for both partners to maintain their individuality and not become desperate or complacent. No one should lose their sense of worth in a relationship. To wrap it up, seduction is not just about physical attraction, it's about self-respect, communication, and nurturing the relationship. Women, remember, when you question what you bring to the relationship, it shows maturity and wisdom. Focus on your partnership and avoid the pitfalls of neglect. This will lead to fulfilling and lasting connection.
Chapter 10: Time Management. This chapter focuses on the crucial relationship between time management, financial freedom, and success. To illustrate this, I will share how I made my first million, which without hesitation I attribute to my ability to manage my time effectively. One evening, I had a conversation with my wife about why she struggled to finish her thesis for 7 years. She explained that she felt blocked and unable to focus. Interestingly, she also admired my level of awareness and discipline. She pointed out that I stay focused on what matters, filtering out anything that doesn't contribute to my goals. This is when I realized that my ability to focus on valuable information was a key factor in my success. Before making my first million, I lived on just 1,000 francs a day. struggling to save even a small amount each month. I had worked for others in the past, but I was never satisfied with that. Despite working various contracts and learning from retired professionals, I noticed two important traits: discipline and reporting. These traits are essential when it comes to time management. Time is valuable and managing it well is crucial for success. A disciplined mind focuses on what matters. There are always distractions, but a disciplined mind sticks to the task at hand. Wandering thoughts and the distraction drain energy, while staying focused allows for productivity. I believe that productive day starts the moment you get out of bed, and discipline is what keeps you on track. If you don't have a routine, it is a sign that you are far from being disciplined. For me, from 2017 to 2025, my day follow a similar routine. I work on improving my communication skills, appeared on television, and took on consultancy work. While I didn't have a strong team at first, my routine kept me grounded. It is essential to control your routine, motivate yourself, and maintain consistent habits, such as dressing appropriately and managing your time well. In contrast, many average income earners lack control over their routines. They often work for others or themselves but haven't been mentored in discipline and time management. Those who work for disciplined individuals tend to be more organized and productive, while people working for themselves often lack structure and can be easily distracted. Time management and financial freedom. The importance of time management cannot be overstated. Time is often said to be money, and those who manage their time well are more likely to succeed. On the other hand, poor time management leaves you constantly behind schedule, which hinders productivity and success. There are two common ways people fail to manage their time: failing to prepare and being absent-minded. This is especially true for students who often struggle with time management, whether due to lack of focus or poor planning. Effective time management. Effective time management involves organizing and planning activities to divide your time efficiently. It helps you achieve personal and professional goals while reducing stress and improving decision making. Let's look at an example of effective time management. Edith weekly plan. Edith is a college student balancing classes, studying for exams, and working part-time. She wants to meet her academic and work commitment while also maintaining a social life. Step 1. Set clear goals. Edith define her goals for the week. 1. Study for 2 exams, French and English. 2. Complete a research paper for her English class. 3. Work 15 hours at her part-time job. 4. Spend time with friends for a healthy social life. Step 2. Prioritize tasks. Using the isn't hour box, Edith categorize her time: urgent and important, study for exam, complete research paper; important but not urgent, review class notes, work shift; urgent but not important, respond to non-critical email, neither urgent nor important; social media browsing. Step 3. Create schedule. Edith organizes her week. On Monday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. French study session from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Work from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. English paper research. On Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. English study session. From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Lunch with friends. From 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Work. On Wednesday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Complete English paper draft. From 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. French study session. On Thursday, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. English practice problem. From 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Work. On Friday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Review for French exam. From 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Finalize.
We are continuing with Edith's weekly program. Step 4. Set deadlines. Edith sets a deadline, a Thursday deadline to finish her research paper and uses Friday for final editing. Step 5. Limit distractions. To stay focused, Edith turns off phone notifications and studies in a quiet place. Step 6. Review and reflect. At the end of the week, Edith reflects on her progress, reviewing what worked well and where improvements can be made. To conclude, by managing her time effectively, Edith balances her academic responsibilities, part-time work, and social life, achieving a productive and fulfilling week. Time management is a powerful tool that enhances both personal and professional life. Time management and financial freedom. In the context of financial freedom, time management plays a vital role. A well-structured routine is just as important as the strategies for realizing financial freedom. Time management is the key to creating the space and energy needed to reach those financial goals. Without time management, it would be nearly impossible to achieve financial freedom, making it the brain behind your financial success.
Chapter 11. Formal Education, a broader perspective. When you travel and socialize with people from different countries, you will soon realize that what we often consider the marker of a person's value, such as formal education, can vary significantly across cultures. In countries like China, Japan, and Indonesia, white-collar jobs hold a respected place in society. People contribute to their economies in diverse ways, many of which don't necessarily require a formal degree. In this book, we explore the role of education as an enlightening force, much like turning on a light when entering a dark room. The purpose of the light is to guide your path, just as education is meant to improve one's life and decision making. But here is a question for you to consider. Do scholars live longer? Take a moment to think about the eldest people in your family, your community, your city. How many of them hold degree, advanced diplomas, or second-degree certification? This question is meant to help us critically evaluate the role of formal education in our lives. Now, let's talk about marriage. Many people consider marriage to be a significant achievement. But does it require formal education? Are all married people university graduates or degree holders? What about the business owners in your neighborhood? Have they all attended college? Are they product of formal education? These questions encourage us to examine the societal norms and structures that shape our understanding of success. I have had the fortune of working with a boss who held an advanced degree but chose to pursue a career as a bookseller. Despite not holding a prestigious office job, he became a multimillionaire. He owns large property in a government residential area where land can cost hundreds of thousands of francs per square meter. From him, I learned that formal education alone is not the defining factor for success. His wealth was not built on his academic qualification, but on his innovative approach to business. The role of education in wealth building is something I came to understand through first-hand experience. Despite being surrounded by highly educated individuals in my professional life, I realized that going back to school was not as urgent as necessary as I once thought. For years, I was encouraged to pursue education to be better than my wife or peers according to societal standards. But through the mentorship of my former boss, I learned that knowledge and growth aren't always tied to formal education. You can keep updating your skills without enrolling in school. The first of the many books that shaped my perspective of leadership was The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. This book taught me the importance of timing and making the right decision at the right moment. Over the past 10 years, I have strived to apply this principle, always seeking to do the right thing at the right time. Education is often stratified. There are elementary, intermediate, and advanced level, but this doesn't mean someone with elementary knowledge is any less valuable than someone with advanced degree. What matters is how you use what you know. Take Donald Trump, for instance. He became US president and made decisions that focus on his interests and those of the American people. He didn't rely on formal education to drive his success. He relied on his ability to make decisions that align with his goals.
In your daily life, you'll encounter people with more formal education than you. But that doesn't mean that you have to follow the same path. Instead, focus on learning in areas that directly relate to your current goals. Don't waste time reading philosophy books when you are pursuing an engineering career. The best time to invest in broad education is when you are young and without the responsibilities that come later in life. If you don't make the most of your free time now, it may never come again. Once you enter the workforce, you find that knowledge is often compartmentalized like in a private library. Each time you encounter a problem, you can return to your own library of learned information to find solutions. The key is to build and apply your knowledge continuously, not only through formal education, but through real-world experiences and self-directed learning. The problem with many people today is that they replace the time they should be spending acquiring knowledge with the pursuit of money. Too often, they become intermediaries, selling clothes, shoes, or phones, and believe this will lead them lasting success. But if you ask people who are involved in this, you realize that they may just not fully understand what they are doing or how much money they will actually make. In the long term. For how long can Can they keep doing this? It's not normal to have a university degree and take pride in selling clothes or shoes. This reflects an abstract mindset where people sell for what seems easy without considering the long-term consequences. Take for example, those with advanced degrees such as PhD who are still jobless. This is a clear sign of being a people pleaser, someone who goes through the motions but doesn't challenge the status quo. They sacrifice their true potential by neglecting to develop their minds and careers. They may shy away from conferences, business plan competitions, or even political space where they could be making a real difference. They rely on education as their ticket to value in society, but later discover that education doesn't necessarily equate to employability or direct opportunities. This leads to frustration. But if they had taken just one moment to read a book like this, they would have realized that there is more to life than simply following a path that others have set. As I've often said, if you find yourself in a situation where you are not being challenged, you are in the wrong place. Think about it. How do you feel when people call you doctor or professor, yet you can't meet your own financial needs? How do you feel when you see no real progress in your field because you are afraid of politics or competing with others? This is the foundation of misery. Someone once asked me if I knew any rich person who were also miserable. My answer is yes. There are rich intellectuals who are miserable. Intellectuals who should be wealthy but are stuck in a system that doesn't allow them to speak freely. For instance, imagine a social or political scientist in a country where the political system systematically disqualifies the youth from participating in leadership. Such an individual doesn't deserve a seat at the table until they are actively critiquing that system. This challenge can be likened to that of a born-again Christian who cannot stay quiet in the midst of sinners. Similarly, a social scientist cannot remain silent when their country is in turmoil. They must speak out. This is why leaders should give space to the youth to lead, not silence them out of fear. You must not suppress your knowledge for the sake of your children or children's future. If you do, where will they grow up? It's clear that formal education alone won't pave the way to success. Ask students what they dream about, and they will often tell you it's about graduating, then pursuing a master's degree or a competitive exam. This naive belief that education alone will guarantee success is misguided. Many young people, especially in today's world, are caught up in a religious or spiritual dogma or even gambling, thinking that these things will make them men and women of substance. But the truth is, the path to success lies in understanding that there are multiple ways to achieve financial freedom, many of which do not involve traditional education at all. Financial freedom isn't impossible, but it requires bravery. I've walked a difficult path, one that even my own family doubted. It's a path that many consider hopeless, like comparing it to an HIV-infected prostitute with no hope of redemption. But it's not hopeless. It's possible to shock the world, no matter your background. If you've been through hardship, if you've faced adversity, whether through family challenges, financial struggles, or feeling neglected, there is still hope. I want to reassure you. Decades ago, I was in a situation far worse than where you might be now. But it took time, effort, and the belief that I could rise above my circumstances. Today, I've achieved financial freedom. I'm speaking to those who have lost hope, to the thousands of graduates who have yet to find a job as promised. It's hard to see a way forward when the system doesn't seem to support you. But remember, I was once in your shoes. The key to developing a decent mind, a mind that chooses to look at the world from different angles. Decency is about tolerance and understanding. It's about giving others the time and space to grow and helping them break free from the chains that hold them back. We live in a world where, while some are looking up to us, others are comfortable in their own position and unwilling to help. This gives us a responsibility, a 360-degree leadership to assist others, to incite goodwill, and to multiply opportunities for those around us. Education is important, but it is your mindset, your ability to adapt and innovate that will ultimately shape your future. Just like water flowing through a desert, you need a strategy to channel it where it's needed most. It's not enough to simply have knowledge. You must know how to use it.
Chapter 12: Selling, Power Dynamics, and Financial Freedom. Theft, robbery, and other obstacles in the business environment tend to affect the informal sector more than formal sector. In this context, we will avoid defining formality based on government settings, as government are primarily concerned with collecting taxes. In reality, government function as entities similar to businesses, managing money that enters and exits the economy. The goal is simple: ensure that money coming in surpasses the money that is going out. 1. The selling concept. Selling, or the sales concept, is marketing strategy focused on promoting product to generate sales. It operates on the belief that consumer won't buy enough product unless there is a significant effort to sell and promote them. This is different from the marketing concept, which focuses on meeting customer needs and creating value. Selling is essentially the exchange of goods or service for money, as in they sold the car. The concept also ties into power dynamics. Selling, as practiced by government, affects the economy. Government regulates the flow of money, controlling what enters and exits the country to ensure that more money stays within the economy. There is a clear manifestation of power here. Government role in the economy. Government use their power to regulate money flow, and this has a direct impact on businesses. High taxes and strict regulation often burden business owners, particularly in the private sector. A key issue arises when governments, like in Cameroon, impose taxes and control that make it difficult for businesses to thrive. This is a form of power exerted by the public sector over the private sector without acknowledging the contribution of the latter. A global example is the recent action of the US government, where the new president began deporting Africans and unregulated states, focusing more on generating income through taxes on neighboring countries rather than considering the economic contribution of these individuals. This demonstrates how power dynamics play out in politics and economics. The individual role in mastering the mind. Human online governments often struggle to think beyond their immediate concern because they operate individually. They don't have the time or structure to consider long-term strategy or opportunities. This results in a lack of focus on personal and financial growth. For financial freedom to be achieved, individuals need to recognize the importance of mastering their mind. The human mind is a transformative tool that can lead to success when harnessed properly. No machine or technology can match the intuition and the power that the human mind holds. When you control your mind, you never broke. This concept of mastering the mind is evident when you look at the way some people rise to success, even with limited resources. For example, two individuals may sell identical products like jeans, trousers, but one will attract more customers simply because of how they present themselves. This highlights the importance of consciousness and being present in the moment. Selling yourself. Selling yourself means positioning yourself in a way that makes you irreplaceable. It is about creating value in everything you do, such that if you are replaced, your previous employer or connection will regret it. This principle applies to every aspect of life, from career to personal relationship. Think of a family dynamic. If you are successful, people may start requesting that you stay with their children or have your kids come for holidays. This is a subtle form of selling yourself. They want your presence because they see value in it. Politics and power. In countries like Cameroon, politics is often seen as one of the worst fields, while non-governmental organizations (NGO) are portrayed as more favorable. However, many involved in NGOs are actually supporting power structures that they may criticize. The government often uses subtle control, which as manipulating religion and media to maintain power and distract the public. This shows how politics and power dynamics are intertwined and how the masses are often unaware of the system's true workings. Tracking expenses and recognizing opportunity. To function like a government, individuals must track their expenses and sources of income. This requires discipline and consistent effort to increase one's income. The human mind, when properly controlled, is the greatest tool for transformation, for surpassing any technological advancement. For instance, in content creation, Two people may post the same material, but one garners more views. This reflects the difference in how individuals use their mind. Those who are mindful and present in the moment are more likely to see opportunities and take action on them. The power of a focused mind. Ultimately, success comes from mastering your mind and being aware of opportunities around you. A distracted mind is like a daydreamer, someone who misses opportunity because they are too absorbed in their own issues. By elevating your consciousness and remaining focused, you can distinguish between manipulations and real opportunities. A well-harnessed mind will never lack because it is aware, disciplined, and ready to take advantage of what the world has to offer. There is a story I like to share that illustrates a powerful principle about transformation. Imagine two people, person A and person B, each joining different organizations. Person A is told this organization will change your life, but you will need to pay 10,000 francs a month to belong. On the other hand, person B is told this organization will also transform your life, but there is no cost to join. Now, at least 90% of people will lean towards the free option. It is easy to justify. Why should I pay when I can work out for free at home using an app? The mindset here is that free resources like fitness app or group membership that doesn't cost anything must be the best route because they seem to offer value without any financial commitment. But over time, the difference becomes clear. Take for example, the person who worked out using the app and had no interaction with others. Everything was isolated and individual. On their birthday, they had no one to celebrate with them, no community to share the moment. Now, consider the person who paid in to join the fitness group. They had invested not just money, but also their time and commitment. The people in this group are likely more driven, resourceful, and willing to exchange ideas. Their interaction might lead to business opportunities, friendship, and a new avenue for growth, something the free group lacks. I am sharing this story because it reflects a deeper lesson about investing in yourself. In my early professional life, I faced a similar situation. I was involved in two groups, JCR and ISEC. ISEC was free to join. JCR required an annual membership of about $70 to $100. My wife often questioned why was I spending money on these organizations, especially since we were just starting out. But I knew something she didn't. There was a value in the JCI network that will pay off over time. At the time, many of the seminars and training sessions seems like a big financial sacrifice. 10,000 here, 25,000 there. But in hindsight, those sacrifices were invaluable. I learned from entrepreneurs and trainers who opened my mind to new possibilities. Often, after attending a few seminars, the idea of entrepreneurship began to resonate with me. Just 3 months later, I resigned from my job and started my own business. The point is that the paid network helped me to build valuable skills and connection. Many of the people I trained during the crisis years have now gone on to successful venture of their own. When I look back, I realized that the investment I made in these networks were the turning point in my life. It was a hard choice to make at the time, but it was worth it. Throughout my life, I have chosen to invest in networks where I pay to belong. I believe this principle applies to many areas of life, especially personal growth. A network of resourceful, ambitious people can do more for you than any free resource ever could. This is the first step towards transformation, building connection with people who will challenge and inspire you. Unfortunately, many people don't realize the importance of this. For example, some church environment can be toxic because people are seeking solutions without making any real personal investment. You will often see people in the same place for 20 years without any meaningful change, simply because they are not willing to invest in their growth. I know this from personal experience. Having served many years in a congregation without receiving any substantial in return, it affected my family life and my personal well-being. In contrast, the network that encourages you to invest, whether through time, money, or energy, are the ones that challenge you to grow. When you surround yourself with people who also value growth, you create an environment that pushes you forward. This is especially true for relationships. If you are with someone who has little ambition or drive, it can hold you back. I have seen it firsthand with family members who married low-value individuals, which ultimately led to stagnation in their personal lives. The woman in such a relationship often ends up dominating and the man stays stuck. In the long run, this dynamic can limit the family growth and no one benefits. Choosing the right partner or even the right career path is similar to the choices we make when investing in ourselves. It is tempting to choose the easy, cheap options, but that often leads to stagnation. Choosing the more challenging route, however, opens the door to greater opportunities and personal growth. When you sell yourself, you need to understand that growth comes from pursuing yourself outside your comfort zone. Whether it is joining a paid network, investing in self-improvement, or simply choosing to live in an environment that fosters personal development, these choices will pay off over time. The hard way may not seem like the easiest choice, but in 5 to 10 years down the road, it is the one that will lead to real transformation. When people see you living in an environment where you have invested in yourself, where you have surrounded yourself with like-minded individuals, they notice. They see that you have prioritized growth and that attract others who value the same. It is a testament to your commitment and vision. People who haven't seen you invest in your future won't understand it, but those who have been paying attention will. To truly transform your life, you have to choose the hard way sometimes. The easy route may look appealing in the moment, but it is the path of challenge and investment that will lead to long-term success. This is the essence of selling yourself. It is not about finding shortcuts, but about making the conscious decision to choose growth over comfort, value over convenience, and long-term success over short-term satisfaction. That takes us to the end of part 5 of our journey to produce the audio version of Power Dynamics. Until we meet again, stay out of trouble. Bye bye.